HBO has just released a new teaser promo for episode 5 entitled Eastwatch. In that promo, it shows Drogon landing in front of Jon Snow. Jon looks quite terrified. Let's discuss what the hell this means. I will in fact be going live as soon as episode 5 ends on my channel here at Sir Hunt's Reviews. Please make sure you come and join us for that live after show and hop in on this discussion. Dragons are pretty intelligent creatures, like a horse or a dog. They can be trained by their rider to respond to basic voice commands. Enter Dracarys. Tyrion claims that dragons are much more intelligent than men and will quickly recognize friend from foe. Drogon immediately starts sensing Jon Snow. He walks towards him and Jon creeps back. He's got that look of pure terror and fear on his face. I think this will be good for Drogon to sense immediately that Jon Snow is a friend slash ally to Daenerys, and also he could be sensing that Jon Snow in fact contains Targaryen blood. Dragons cannot truly be tamed. They are very dangerous even to their riders. However, they can form very strong bonds with their riders and show affection and trust towards them. They will often nuzzle up to their riders, hoping to be petted, which is really cute in my opinion. Daenerys trained all 3 of her dragons to respond to the vocal commands in her mother tongue of High Valyrian. She often uses the command Dracarys, to which her dragons release open and destructive devastation to everything in their path, bringing everything to ash and burning it with flame. Let's be honest, we all want Jon Snow to become extremely close to these dragons, and if dragons can be trained in a similar way to horses and dogs, well, one of the best ways that Daenerys can get the dragons comfortable with Jon is by putting his scent all over her and then kind of hanging around the dragons. We do know that dogs respond extremely positive when they can smell their owners, so if dragons are similar in that sense, having Jon Snow's scent all over Daenerys may in fact help Jon Snow being close to these dragons. You know, Jon Snow may not be finding about his parentage in this episode, but the dragons definitely will. I wish there was some sort of way for them to communicate that towards Daenerys. I do think that the dragons will be able to sense Jon Snow's Targaryen ancestry. I do think that Jon Snow will find out about his true lineage by the end of this season. I just don't know if it's going to change in the way that we all think that it'll make him change. Jon Snow is a Stark and always will be a Stark. I think him finding about his heritage is not going to do anything but solidify him in his actions, and that his father was obsessed with this prophecy of ice and fire and protecting the world from the long night, and now Jon Snow is continuing in that journey. So it's very poetic in the fact that Jon Snow is basically picking up where his father left off. One of the biggest things I think we're all super excited about being revealed this season is what Jon Snow's Targaryen name is. It would be funny if his name is actually just Jon, because in the novels, Rhaegar Targaryen is actually best friends with this dude Jon Connington, and a lot of people think that Rhaegar named his son Jon Snow after Jon Connington. If that's not the case, Daenerys may actually know what his true name is in the books, because in her vision of the House of the Undying, she actually sees Rhaegar mentions to his wife Elia that his son will be named Aegon, and that his is the Song of Ice and Fire. So I think it's interesting that during Daenerys' vision, Rhaegar mentions that his son and not our son will be named Aegon. So I think this alludes to the fact that he's referring to Jon Snow. He does say that his song is Ice and Fire, and what is Jon Snow? Half Stark, half Targaryen, ice and fire. The name Jaehaerys was leaked a few months back, but I personally think his name should be Aemon. There's a point in the novels where Jon Snow and Robb Stark are playing underneath the Crypts of Winterfell, and Jon Snow says, "I'm Aemon the Dragon Knight." Robb says, "I'm Florian the Fool." So the fact that Jon Snow was pretending to be one of the greatest Targaryen heroes, Aemon the Dragon Knight, at such a young age would be pretty ironic if that's what his true name is in fact. Aemon is also one of the only Targaryens that Jon Snow has been close with. Now obviously he's getting close with Daenerys in season 7, but initially when Jon Snow first arrived to the Wall, Maester Aemon was the one who looked out for him. Now I don't necessarily think it's crucial to the story that at this time and place in our story that Jon Snow's true name and lineage be revealed. I just think it would be awesome fan payoff if we finally got to know, hey, this is Jon Snow's real name, and hey look, he also knows that he is now half Targaryen and half Stark. It's not going to change who he is, but it would still be awesome to finally see this happen on screen. I want to give a super special thank you to Helena von Leinstein, Belladonna, Lise, Kathleen Cotter, I See But Not Really, Juliet, Dean Crozai, Elder Flores, Enid, Terry, Justin Stone, Darton, Sammy Omer, Joe Swag, Lynn Shaw, and Angel. Without you, all these videos would not be possible, and I want to thank you so much for becoming Patreon supporters. If you are watching would like to become a Patreon and help support this channel, all you have to do is click the link up here, or you can check out the link down below in the description. I want to thank you all so much for watching. The like goal for this video will be 150. If you could please slap a like on this video, go ahead and subscribe, and then make sure you have your notifications turned on so that way you get alerted every time I drop Game of Thrones content. If you would like to be entered into my contest to win this lovely mystery Funko Pop figure, all you have to do to enter that contest is like this video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and then hop on Twitter and follow me. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.